for this demo, we're starting off in the Owlin Enterprise station. It's a high-tech station, so there's a lot of services available to us, technology here. So I'll take you through some of the new things which are in Beta 1. Here you can see I've got the Viper, which is a heavy fighter, really good, powerful ship, this one. I've kitted it out with these Class 2 multi-cannons, Class 3 beam lasers, really powerful weaponry. One of the new features in Beta 1 here is we've got the paint jobs. So we can go and pick a skin for your home country if you like. Which would you like? The one for Spain. Spain? Yeah.
So, have you played the original games?
Wow, back in the day, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe, okay.
My memory doesn't go back.
So, to give more of a background on the game generally, the idea is you start off with a small ship and a small amount of money, and you can do what you like in the galaxy. You know, you can trade, you can pirate, you can assassinate, but you can wake your way. It's complete freedom. You can do what you like. There's no rigid process, no tutorials, no, you just get on with it. And it's great fun. We're in beta at the moment.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. I suppose that all the pirating thing has like consequences and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes. You get the police after you, get all sorts of things. But you also have it's a great situation because you've got various superpowers. So you've got the Federation and the Empire, who are essentially in a state of Cold War. So you could support one side and be really good and obedient and follow the law on one side, whereas when you're in the Federation, when you're in the Empire, you could break the law and yet come back and be seen as a hero and a spy and all this sort of thing. You know, if you read the wonderful espionage books of the sort of 1960s and 1970s, and you know, where essentially people spied, they broke into cars, they set fire to buildings, but they came back with this. You know, and I think that's the sort of spirit that we have here. Or maybe you could work for the Empire. There's also independent worlds which are separate again, they have their own legal systems, and they don't mind. They don't even look at what your legal status is in the other places because they may not be able to access it. So that's the world you're in. You know, you don't have to do the same everywhere. And it's very consistent, so you can take on missions, all this sort of thing. Here is an example mission where you're taking medicines to a place. Very simple, very straightforward mission, but there are other missions where they can say, we need you to get a photograph of this building. Or things like that, do you see what I mean? But, of course, it may be entirely legal to get there. And you may have to do much more dodgy things in order to do so. This is showing a map of the galaxy, local area. This is a sort of, rather than showing it as a, you have an option of seeing it how it looks realistically, but this is showing a map version. It's showing all the trade goods moving around. You can select different trade goods. Because of course, while you're doing these missions that we're talking about, you can choose, if you're going to the equivalent of Russia, if you like, you might think, oh, what will they want? I'll take some computers there, or I'll take something that they don't have, Levi jeans, or whatever the... And so you choose the trade item, and you can see what the major item here from the map. If you're going from here, you see Owlin, for example, to Majet, they seem to be taking chemicals and engineered ceramics.
Because down whole stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you might as well do that and make additional money on the side.
You need like a different ship for that, or you can just...
Well, the ship we've got here is a Viper, which is more of a warship, but it does still have a cargo capacity. Now, if we sort of zoom out on the galaxy here, we can see all these systems are real systems in the night sky. Every single one here is a real star that you can see in the night sky, either with your eye or with a telescope. And they're in the constellation Bounties in the night sky. But the great thing is we've typed in 100, well, say we, some poor soul at work called Michael Brooks has typed in some 160,000 star systems, all from real data. And then beyond that, we've got 400 billion star systems, which is the entire galaxy. These are all as accurate as we can make them. Beyond about 40-50 light years, most stars can't be resolved even by Hubble. We just see them as a sort of dust cloud. There are so many of them. But what we've done is we've procedurally generated those so that the densities are right and all that sort of thing to match the real night sky. So this night sky is actually made up of real data. The very, very distant bright stars are also real. Throughout the galaxy, because we can see, you see here in the background on the right, for example, things that we call type O stars, which are really huge, short-lived, very, very bright. You can see those right across the galaxy, whereas nearby, most stars are actually quite faint, relatively speaking. But we've made this as accurate as possible. So the night sky, which is rendered in the game, every single dot in the night sky you can fly to.
It's an actual
star system. The human eye can resolve maybe 6,000-7,000 stars out of this 160,000. With a telescope, you can go up to the 150,000, 160,000, and beyond that, of course, we have the procedure generated ones.
Do you have like preset warping spots, or you can just freely move?
You can freely move anywhere. Now, all the distances are real. The whole systems, whether it's the solar system, whether it's any of the other stellar systems we've got, the 400 billion of them, you can fly around. You can see the planets. All the planets are moving and orbiting relative to each other at the correct speeds. And we've even seen online, people have made time-lapse photographs of seeing all the planets move. Seeing eclipses and things like that.
That's pretty good.
There is a website which showed constellations, because of course when you move away from the sun, we're used to constellations in the night sky, they all change.
Yeah.
And they've actually named some of the constellations as viewed from other systems. And some of those constellations actually can feature the sun. Which is, with these sort of things, it doesn't matter a lot because it's just the background of the game, but it matters a lot to me and a lot of other people because it makes it feel real.
Yeah,
you think,
small
wow,
details.
I've been there. Yep. You look up in the night sky and say, I've been there.
Yeah, knowing that like the game is alive and it's moving around.
That's right, yeah. Which is wonderful, and it's very funny playing this. You see that the lighting's different now because the sun's gone, the solar system's gone around here. So this is an Orbis station. You can sort of see the shadow forming on the habitable area. The inside where we were before is the whole thing's rotating to give artificial gravity. The inside is about 0.1 gravity, so it's very floaty. You'd be like on the moon. You'd be able to jump. More importantly, a human could lift a ton of cargo over their heads. This is showing this whole area where you can live, which is it's an 8-kilometer radius.
Wow.
Yes. One of the backers worked out that the playable area here is about the same as GTA 4. And in fact, John here doesn't work for Frontier. He's one of our backers. He's what we call the Dangerous Ambassador. And thank you very much, John. John has done a fantastic job playing the game, demoing the game. Oh yeah.
So when I checked the website, I didn't read about you leaving Station. So you can actually get off Station and get to the house.
You will be able to, but not. So you can't at the moment. As of now, you can't. And the game that we release by the end of the year will not have that in. The reason is I want to make sure we do it well. So we can do it. We could do it today, but it's just there wouldn't be very much to do when you did it. You would walk around and it would feel a bit pointless. We don't want to have an empty experience because there'd be no point. Mm-hmm. And actually it would feel, well, why have they put this effort into it? And they would be absolutely right. Same with getting out and landing on planets. So that's one of the other things that I want us to do. We could do that today. It might be a bit of distraction, but there wouldn't be anything to see. So what's the point? It'd just be sort of identical rolling grey hillsides of the moon or whatever. Yeah. And until there is something to see, I don't really want us to do it.
Mm-hmm. You want to fill it with content first.
That's right. And so we will do it, but we won't do it till after we've released this game, and that will be done as a future update. So for those people who've paid for the expansion pass, the lifetime expansion pass, they'll get it free. Otherwise, it will be a paid-for update.
So it will such a DLC or something.
Yeah, I mean, think of it as essentially it's a whole new game of content in terms of what you can do. It's just in order to do that, you're going to have to carry a weapon and all that sort of thing. It's quite a big undertaking. To do it properly. I mean, and I don't want it to just be you walking around aimlessly. I want us to have the whole zero-G experience when the ship's in space. I want to have walking around the planet. There's lots of animation challenges there. To do it well, as I said, and I think doing it badly would be a mistake.
Yeah, that's a good policy. If you're going to do it, do it properly.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we see we've arrived. The mission was to take these goods to Apala. John's arrived there. We see the star. We're now modelling all the magnetic fields. You see these things change very slowly over time.
Yeah.
We've tried to make it at roughly the same sort of speed it does on the sun. It's funny, a lot of people have said, oh, why is it not moving like it does in the titles of Voyager or whatever? The answer is most of the video that we see of those, well no, it is real, but they see it's a time lapse.
Yeah.
It's over many, many hours. You know, and so with all of those things, I'm sure someone will upload a time lapse on it. In fact, doubtless there's already one on YouTube.
So you move freely through the universe to just boost your speed, right? Up to, I don't know, warp speed or whatever?
No, you can go faster than the speed of light. So this was another... the game is as scientifically accurate as we can make it. But the one thing we've done, which varies from that, is faster than light travel. Because the world would be quite dull without it.
A lot. Yeah. I suppose. So there is something to do while you're traveling, super fast from one point to the other?
Yeah, well what we've done, we're gradually building out the game. We've now got the whole game there. We're now putting in all the different story elements. Things tend to happen to you as you're traveling. In fact, the timing there is quite ironically delightful because we've just been what's called interdicted. So when you're traveling around, people can attack you, and with time, it's not in beta 1 yet, but it's coming soon. You will be able to interdict other players. Now interdiction is where you pull people out of faster than light travel, and then you can do anything. You can chat to them, you can attack them.
You can chase them while
You can chase them, yes. You can see them while they're traveling faster than light. Yeah, and you can catch them up, and then you can or they can interdict you, which isn't always a good thing. So what we see here is this is a giant freighter. This is something called a Lacon Type 9. It's 3 stories high, huge, great space truck, if you like, full of cargo. There are 3 of these. Well, exactly. So let's attack them then. Let's be a pirate. Although you could choose to defend them, because it presents you an interesting dilemma.
Because it's being attacked now.
We're attacking it, but it was already being attacked. We came across it being attacked by 3 pirates. So we can choose to share the pickings with the pirates.
Or kill the pirates.
Or kill the pirates and help them, and they will reward you. So there we go, we brought its shields down. So we are a small warship here. We're a Viper, which is the standard police ship. But also, actually, it's a very good ship. We get pirating. The same as the police, it's a fast ship, it's a tough ship. And these are actually, the big traders are actually quite lightly built. So once the shields are down, you can start doing real damage to them, as you can see here.
And there is places weaker for the...
Oh, absolutely. You can target individual areas of the ship. So if you target the cargo bay door, you can blow that off, and then the cargo will start coming out.
That's pretty good.
So you don't actually have to destroy the ship. Or the other thing you can do, you can do this as well. You can jettison cargo, because actually, if you jettison cargo and then run away, the pirate has the question of, do I try picking up the cargo, but then he'll get a big distance away, or do I chase him and lose the cargo? Because you won't be able to find it unless you go a long way.
But do they see what's in the cargo?
You can scan it, but it takes a while. So it's, again, but that's the beauty. That's the beauty here. It's we're trying to make the gameplay work from both sides.
I guess you can get like faster engines to, how faster and catch up.
Well, the beauty of the game is you start off with a small amount of money and you customize your ship more and more, or you even buy bigger ships. If you want to, you don't have to choose, like you do in Warcraft. You don't have to choose to be an elf or choose to be you can just do it by behavior. But what you can also do is tune your ship to work better for the way you want to play. So, for example, if you want to be a trader, you can buy an ever bigger trading ship. So they're not necessarily fast, they're not necessarily good at combat, but you can fill it with lots of shields, lots of cargo, and make lots of money that way. You could go for a combat-leaning ship like the Eagle or the Viper we have here, which is really good at combat, very good as a pirate, quite a fast ship. Or you could go for a more general-purpose ship. So you start off in a general-purpose ship like the Sidewinder, which is really good because it's cheap. And it can do combat, it can take trade, but actually the Sidewinder isn't terribly good at any one of them. The Cobra is a lot bigger, so is actually better at all of them, but it's not a specialist. Or you can choose to specialise. So this is slightly specialised towards combat. We have ships that are specialised towards range and exploration and things like that. Giant ships like the Anaconda, there we go, one bites the dust, except we've now got a bounty for murder on our head. So the other thing you can do is you can be a bounty hunter. You can chase down people who have bounties on their heads.
But you still would always have like somewhere to go. I mean, because if you're a bounty, you have bounty on your head, probably that faction, the territory you're in right now,
They won't like.
they kind of hate you.
But you can still go to other
Go
places.
to the other one
Yeah.
or a third faction.
That's right. And there are also pirate bases around. Now, they may not be terribly safe places to go. You know, the clue's in the name. But there are ways. So there are still ways you can buy off your bounty. Some of the more dodgy places, they can say, well, you've got this huge. You say, yeah, all right, I want to buy it off. Here is essentially a bribe to clear your rating.
So is there like a reputation kind of system with each faction?
There is. It's not properly there yet in beta 1. There is the bones of it already, and we're going to be building that out through beta.
Yeah, but because I was thinking, I don't know, maybe after a couple of months you want to switch and do missions or whatever with another faction.
Oh yeah.
Would that be possible?
Yes, it is.
Slowly regaining trust or reputation.
Well, there's also, I mean, you've heard of the phrase double agent, I'm sure. You know, you could actually work for both. So actually, I'm this high rank. You might want me to be able to. Come here a second.
That's good.
And one of the things, because that was in, I don't know if you remember, so Frontier, one of the other games, had a reputation system, and you could actually work your way up both sides at the same time. It was much harder.
Yeah.
Because you had to make sure you did things carefully.
Or picking the right thing.
Exactly, that's right, yeah.
That's very nice.
Okay.
Wandering around.
So, any questions?
Yeah, about the PvP, is it like always open PvP? Will you have like save zones?
Right, no, although you do have the option of playing single player.
Okay,
or
yeah, I
playing
remember reading about it.
Playing in private groups. That option is already in beta 1. And so you can create a private group, so the only players you'll meet are your friends. But it still supports PvP with your friends.
Okay.
So you've got to make, you know, but the point is, we don't intend the game to be PvP heavy. Even when people are playing in the wide online world, because there are a lot of mechanics that are, you know, essentially restoring forces. You know, mechanics where players who are very antisocial, the game has a way of responding to them.
Yeah.
So firstly, we put a big bounty on the head, so all the other players will go, oh, let's go after them. Then we can send police and warships after them. But ultimately, if they are very antisocial, it's also measured in the ranking, so that when we do matchmaking, we can matchmake them off with other people who are just as antisocial. There's a sort of what we call in the UK a sort of naughty step.
Yeah, that's a good approach.
Yeah.
So if you're a good guy, you're a match. You know, good guys, and you're doing your own thing.
Now that system we've just added to beta 1. It's not fully working, but parts of it are already working. So we're building that out as well. And we're also seeing how people respond to it. Generally, there's not too much PvP going on, which is good. And when it is
exploring,
we're actually seeing a lot of vigilantism, where people are going after people who are doing PvP attacks, mainly because of the bounties. So we're tuning the amount of bounties to make it just the right amount of attractiveness.
Okay, so even when you're playing solo, does it get like information from the server? You know, they're moving.
Yes.
Moving stars.
That's so that because all of the things, like when you side with the Federation or whatever, that's remembered. And that's all built up. So I think there's richness. And when you explore to find something distant.
So you're not playing like a standalone game. I mean, if players affect, if something happens with a faction, will you get to see that as well
Yes,
as
that's
solo
right.
player?
Yeah. No, it's exciting. It's really fun that way. And also, if you discover a system and you name it, you can still do that.
So you feel connected to the community of the game, but you don't play just doing your own thing.
That's right. Well, I personally, I hope people will play in the online world, and we want to encourage.
Well,
that.
yeah, I suppose that's the main goal. But you know, if you have like, I don't know, an hour that you don't want to mess around, you know, whatever.
But generally people are doing that. They are playing online on beta 1, so I think it's a really good thing. Okay. So any final question, or do you want to?
No, I think we're good.
Excellent. Lovely talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the
Thank you.
players.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.